Hello friends, in this video we are going to discuss some topics from nuclear energy, which includes some basics like what are isotopes, isobars, etc., and also what is radioactivity, uranium enrichment, structure of nuclear reactors, India's nuclear energy program in detail, and also if time permits we'll just give outline and or some introduction regarding some other topics like what is NSC, NPT, all those things. Okay, let's start. So what is nuclear technology? It refers to the technology that involves nuclear reaction of atomic nuclei. So the technology which involves nuclear reaction of atomic nuclei. So if you take an atom, it has a nucleus which consists of protons and neutrons. So this part is involved in a nuclear reaction which involves nuclear reaction of atomic nuclei. So now let's see what are isotopes and isobars. Isotopes are atoms with same atomic number but different mass number, and isobars are atoms with same atomic mass but different atomic number. So first we'll see what are atomic numbers and mass numbers, then we can clearly understand what is isotope and isobar. Okay, let's see. Atomic number is equal to number of protons. Okay, atomic mass or mass number is equal to protons plus neutrons. Okay, if we take an atom, okay, atomic number will be here and mass number will be here. Okay, so atomic number means number of protons and mass number means total protons plus neutrons. So what is isotope? Means atoms with same atomic number but with different mass numbers. Means for isotopes this number is same and this number is different. So first we'll take hydrogen as an example, and we know hydrogen has three isotopes. Okay, protium, deuterium, tritium. Okay, if we see isotope means same atomic number, here atomic number is same but different mass numbers, so these are mass numbers, so mass numbers are different. Okay, and if we see structure also for protium, see there will be one proton in the nucleus and one electron will be there outside. Okay, and if you take deuterium, there will be one proton plus one neutron which is surrounded by one electron. If you see tritium, there will be one proton plus two neutron in the nucleus and which is surrounded by one electron outside. Okay, so for hydrogen we have three isotopes, protium, deuterium and tritium, and their atomic numbers are same but their atomic mass or mass number are different. And we'll also take isotopes of uranium. So uranium 233 or uranium 234 or uranium 235, uranium 238. Okay, so here also we can clearly see their number of protons are same, means their atomic numbers are same but their mass numbers are different. Okay, so these are isotopes of uranium. Now we will see what is isobar. Isobars means atoms with same mass number but different atomic numbers. Okay, means here now this will be same and these atomic numbers are different. So let's take let's see what are the examples. So if you take argon 40 80, potassium 40 90, calcium 40 20, like that. So here if we see, number of protons are changing, means atomic number is different but mass number is same. Okay, so if we see from these two examples, see if number of protons means atomic number is same, then the element is also same. Here atomic number is 1 and element is hydrogen, but here if we see, as atomic number is changing, the element is also changing. Okay, means for any element, number of protons are very important. If number of protons are changing, means then the element itself is changing. So the character of element will change if number of protons changes. So that if character changes, means the element itself will change. Okay, let's see here. So the character of an atom changes when the proton number changes there. That is, the element itself is changing. Hope you got this. Okay, and next we will see allotropy. It is the property of some elements to exist in two or more forms. Okay, means one element is existing in different forms. Okay, so chemical structure is same but the physical structure is different. So let's take example of carbon. Carbon's allotropes are diamond, graphite. So for these two we know the structure, physical structure is different, but chemical structure is same. Okay, so then such elements are called allotropes. So allotropes example for carbon is diamond and graphite. Okay, elements to exist in two or more forms. Hope you understood this one. We'll go for next slide. We'll clear it off this one. Okay, now let's see radioactivity. Radioactive decay is the process by which an unstable atomic nuclei loses energy by radiation. Means when an unstable atomic nuclei loses energy by radiation. So in that process there are generally different types of decays, like alpha decay, beta decay and gamma decay. So let's read what are these. Okay, three of the most common type of decays are alpha decay, beta decay and gamma decay, and all of them involves in emitting one or more particles of photons. Okay, so alpha decay, it is when an unstable nucleus releases helium ion. Remember this from prelims perspective. Okay, when alpha decay occurs, it releases helium ion and it has low penetration power. Okay, in beta decay, the unstable, say first we will discuss how, then we will read what it is there. Say alpha decay, helium ion is released. Okay, in beta decay, electron or positron is released. In gamma decay, photon is released. Okay, so these are the things we need to remember for prelims, for which decay which element or which thing is released, like that. Okay, and alpha decay or alpha radiation has low penetration power. Means when we are exposed, just they will have impact on outer skin, like we'll have skin burns. It won't go deep into our skin. Okay, but for beta decay, it has high penetration power compared to alpha decay. Okay, means it is going little bit inside of our skin, so it causes skin wounds. And for gamma decay, it will release photons, means these are high penetration power compared to beta decay, so they go deep inside the body, even towards bones also. Okay, so even they damages bone marrow also. Okay, so these are very dangerous, gamma decay. So let's read. Alpha decay is when an unstable nuclei releases helium ion. It has low penetration power and shows their impact on skin, leading to skin burns. Beta decay is when an unstable nucleus releases electron or positron, and it has more penetration power than alpha decay and causes skin wounds. Gamma decay is when an unstable nucleus releases photons. It has more penetration power than beta decay and even penetrates bone, damaging bone marrow also. So you need to remember all these three. See, already we have seen in particle physics topic, there are fundamental forces. Total 4 fundamental forces are there, like gravitational force, electromagnetic force, strong force, weak force. These two are universal forces and their range is very big. Okay, these two are subatomic forces. Subatomic forces. So their range is very small, and gravitational force generally exists between two bodies, two masses. Okay, and electromagnetic force generally exists between positive charge and negative charge particles, like protons and electrons. Proton is positive and electron is negative. Okay, strong nuclear force, it is existing between quarks. Okay, for example, between protons and neutrons, and they help in binding the nucleus. Means nucleus is present inside this one, proton and neutron are there, no? They are helping in binding this nucleus. Means they will try to hold these two together, okay, because of strong force. Otherwise, nucleus, if strong force is not there, then without strong force there won't be any nucleus. So strong force is very important for binding. Okay, weak force, this is very important from prelims perspective, and remember this one. Weak force is responsible for radioactive decay or nuclear decay. So remember this one. Which force is responsible for radioactive decay or nuclear decay? Means weak force. Okay, so okay, now let's go with what are fissile materials and fertile materials. Okay, let's clear this one. Fissile material. See, here fissile materials are like uranium 235, uranium 233, plutonium 239. Fissile means when we are using them in nuclear reactor, they will divide into or break into different elements, and in that process they will release energy. Okay, but fertile materials, when they are used in nuclear reactors, okay, they won't break. Instead they will convert into different element, so no energy is released. In this process. So we'll see how these are working. Okay, let's see. If uranium 235 is bombarded with a neutron, fast moving neutron, then it will split into two atoms, krypton and barium, and it will also release 3 fast moving neutrons and also energy. Okay, so these 3 fast moving neutrons are there, no? These 3 will attack in the next stage 3 more uranium 235, okay, and releases 3 neutrons plus energy. See, here only one energy is released, here 3 times energy is released, and next time these 3 will release 9 neutrons, okay, plus 3 energy, 3 energy, 3 energy, like that. See, this chain reaction is increasing, and after each and every step the energy released is just increasing like that. So we need to control this number of neutrons, otherwise more and more energy will release, and at one stage the heat is so high that blast will occur. So we need a controlled, this chain reaction should be controlled, so we need a controlled chain reaction in our nuclear reactors. So this is very important, otherwise nuclear reactors will blast. So we'll see how, which are used to control the fast of speed of these neutrons, or which are used to control or to observe these neutrons, like that, while working while seeing the working of nuclear reactor. So time being, just see, when a neutron is bombarded with uranium-235, it's split into two atoms, two elements, and in that process it will release energy and also free moving neutrons. Similarly, if we see uranium-233, when bombarded with one neutron, then it will release in different elements. In that process energy is also released along with 3 neutrons. Okay. Similarly, if you bombard plutonium-239 with a neutron, then it will also split and also release energy in neutrons. So if these 3 are fissile materials, means they will split and release energy. Okay, but we'll see what are fertile one. Fertile means what we said, they won't break, instead they will convert into different elements. So let's take uranium-238. When it is bombarded with a neutron, instead of breaking, it will convert into plutonium-239. Okay, so at first stage it won't break, instead it is converting into plutonium-239. If this plutonium-239 is bombarded with a neutron, then the above reaction will occur and energy is released. Similarly, if a free moving neutron is bombarded, which one? Thorium-232. Okay, if thorium-232 is bombarded with a free moving neutron, then it won't split, instead of that it will convert into uranium-233. And similarly, like this, if uranium-233 is bombarded with a free moving neutron, then the above reaction, this reaction will occur. So in this process, at next stage it will release energy. So these technology, these concept, okay, we will use in our different stages of nuclear program. As India has 3 stages of nuclear program, in different stages we will use this concept. Okay, as India is having almost 25% world reserves of thorium and very less reserves of uranium. Okay, we want to balance these two. Okay, so that our dependency on imports of uranium from outside will reduce, and we can utilize whatever thorium is present in India, we can utilize that one efficiently to produce energy. So for that purpose we had 3 stages. Okay, so these concepts and these methods are used so that we can utilize our thorium reserves peacefully. Okay, so hope you understood what are fissile materials and fertile materials. Let's read what we have written there. Okay, and fissile material, uranium-233, uranium-235, plutonium-239 are fissile in nature, that is they exhibit nuclear fission when targeted with a neutron. So nuclear fission means they are splitting. Okay, and fertile materials are uranium-238 and thorium-232 are fertile in nature, that is when they are targeted with neutron, instead of breaking down they are changing into new elements. Yeah, this is what we saw now. Uranium-238 is converted into plutonium-239 and thorium-232 is converted into uranium-233. Okay, remember this from today's perspective. Okay, but see, I'll clear this and See, uranium oxide or uranium ore which is mined, its composition will look like this. Okay, 2 uranium 234, its composition will be around 0.055% like that, very less. And next one is uranium 235, its composition is around 0.7% only. And uranium 238, its composition is around 99.3%. Okay, so means this is the one which is mined one. Okay, which is dig from mines. Okay, so in that, this is the composition. So for practical purpose, we won't consider this one, as this is very small in quantity, and these are the things which are we use majorly in nuclear reactors. But see, uranium-33, as we discussed, it is fertile in nature, means directly we can't use to produce energy. But this is the only one which is fissile, means which can we use directly to produce energy. But its quantity is very less, and this one quantity is very high. So our target is to increase this one quantity. Okay, so this process of increasing uranium-235 percentage in the mixture is known as uranium enrichment. So uranium enrichment means increasing the quantity of uranium-235 in the mixture is known as uranium enrichment. Okay, based on uranium enrichment we have two types: low enriched uranium and high enriched uranium. Low enriched uranium means uranium enrichment is less than 20%, and high enriched uranium means enrichment is greater than 20%. Means if you take 100 grams, if you take 100 grams, in that 20 grams, greater than 20 grams of uranium-235 is present, then it is high enriched uranium. And this high enriched uranium is used for making nuclear weapons. Okay, this is very important. So there is a treaty, fissile material cutoff treaty. Okay, fissile material. So fissile means this one, fissile material cutoff treaty. According to it, countries should not produce high enriched uranium and plutonium, because these two are used in making nuclear weapons or nuclear bombs. Okay, nuclear missiles, nuclear weapons and nuclear bombs. So according to fissile material cutoff treaty, countries should not produce high enriched uranium or plutonium, which generally are used for making nuclear bombs. Okay, hope you understood what is the composition of uranium oxide which is extracted as from ores. So uranium-235.7 and uranium-238 99.3%. Okay, and but we have seen uranium-233 is also fissile material, but this is not naturally found, means it is artificially produced. So we need to remember this from prelims perspective, because as we seen from thorium-232, when it is bombarded with a neutron, then it is converting into 233, means it is artificially being produced and not naturally found in uranium oxide. Okay, so keep this in mind. Okay, let's read what we have written here. Uranium enrichment. The natural composition of uranium extracted from the earth is 99.3%, which is fertile. Fertile means it is not directly used to produce energy, means it won't split. Okay, instead it will convert into different element. And the remaining uranium-235 is 0.7% only, which is fissile. So it is very less. We want to increase this percentage, and increasing the percentage of uranium-235 composition is known as uranium enrichment. So we will see what is uranium enrichment. It is the process of increasing percentage of uranium-235 in the mixture. For this purpose, they mostly use the technology of centrifuge. We will see what is centrifuge and how they are making that one. Okay, we will read this one. And since centrifuge operates on the principle of diffusion and separation. So remember this one also. Centrifuge operates on the principle of diffusion and separation of isotopes. Enriched uranium is produced by feeding uranium hexafluoride gas to the centrifuge, and on the basis of enrichment, uranium is classified into two types. We discussed these two: low enriched uranium and high enriched uranium. Means it is less than 20% and it is greater than 20%. Okay, low enriched uranium is generally used for peaceful purposes like fuel in nuclear reactors to produce energy. High enriched uranium is weapon grade uranium. Okay, weapon grade uranium used for conducting nuclear tests and making of nuclear weapons. Okay, so let's see how all the centrifuge works, all those things. Okay, we'll clear this one. See, there will be a cylinder. Okay, inside that one more cylinder will be there. This cylinder will be semi-permeable in nature. Semi-permeable. Okay, inside this cylinder will fill with uranium hexafluoride gas. Uranium hexafluoride gas. Okay, so after that filling with the uranium hexafluoride gas, these things will be there. No, they will be rotated very fast. Means RPMs, 1200 RPM, 1000 RPM, 1200, like that. They are rotated with very fast. Okay, revolutions per minute. So due to that thing, means as they introduced uranium oxide in the form of a gas. Okay, like a uranium hexafluoride gas. For gases, the attraction between atoms will be very less. Means atoms will be at farthest distance, and also the attraction will be very less. So during this stage, separation of isotopes will be very easy. Okay, separation will be very easy when it is in gaseous stage. So that's why we use in gaseous form here, and will try to rotate it very fast so that isotopes will be separated, as it is semi-permeable. No? Okay, but don't imagine like uranium-235 will completely separate and uranium-238 will be completely separate. No, this is very difficult. So that's why it takes very high time to produce a nuclear weapon, because that much quantity of material which is required to make a weapon, it's very time taking and it's not so easy. Okay, so even if you make uranium-235 composition around 2.5% or 1.5%, this is also enough, okay, for using as a fuel in nuclear reactors. Okay, so for Kudankulam, we are using just 1.5% of enriched uranium, and initially we used boiling water reactors. Here we used around 2.5 to 3% enriched uranium. Means if you take 100 grams of uranium, in that only 1.5 gram is uranium-235. Okay, so imagine by making, means just from 0.7%, just they increase to 1.5%. So that is also very difficult. Okay, so that technology is also very difficult, and this is the major issue with Iran, because they have some 20,000 of centrifuges which are working to make enriched uranium, and USA has somehow found out that they are doing all these things, and finally they kept a lot of sanctions, and Iran nuclear deal was signed. So we'll discuss everything in detail later. Just okay, we'll go to next topic. Okay, fundamental forces, we already discussed these things, and weak force is the major one which is responsible for nuclear decay or radioactive decay. So we need to remember this one. And types of nuclear reactions. So fission reaction and fusion reaction. First we will read here, and then we'll once again go and we'll see how they are working. So fission is splitting of large atom into two or more small ones. So a bigger one is there which is split into smaller ones. In this, an unstable nucleus like uranium-235 bombarded with neutron, then it splits into barium and krypton, along with the release of fast-moving neutrons and energy. This is what we discussed now. When uranium-235 is bombarded with a neutron, it is splitting into krypton and barium, along with they are releasing fast-moving neutrons, and energy is also released. This process is called fission reaction. Okay, already we discussed all these things in detail, and we'll say what is fusion reaction. Fusion is the fusing of two or more lighter atoms into a larger one. Okay, means small elements are there, these are merged into a larger one in this lighter nuclei at higher temperatures. So this is very important. Lighter nuclei at higher temperatures combine to form a heavier nucleus with associated release of huge energy. Means if here huge energy is released, means too much of heat is generated. Okay, huge energy is released. It is naturally taking place in suns and stars. Also remember this one. Means see, generally hydrogen atoms, like hydrogen atoms are combined to form helium atoms. Okay, helium atom. So two hydrogen atoms are combined together to form it a helium atom. In this process, lot of energy. Means here also we need to supply some input energy, but the output energy is too high. Okay, this too much of heat is utilized to produce electricity. Okay, this is in fusion reactions. So say many of us who have seen welding shops. In welding shops, if they want to join two metals, they use current, no? Okay, so very high temperatures they use, and they used to join these two metals. Okay, similarly, if you want to join any two smaller atoms to form a bigger one, we need to give temperature. Means in the presence of temperature, we need to supply a lot of energy so that they will join in and form a higher and new element. Okay, same concept like welding. Okay, hope you understood what is fission reaction and fusion reaction. And fusion reaction is taking place naturally in suns and stars. Okay, we'll see structure of nuclear reactor. So nuclear reactors convert the energy released by controlled nuclear fission. Already I told, controlled nuclear fission, because we need to control the number of neutrons, otherwise the heat inside will increase and finally a blast will occur due to high temperature. So we need to control the number of neutrons so that the energy released will be controlled. Means according to our requirement we can produce the energy. Okay, so nuclear reactors convert the energy released by controlled nuclear fission into a thermal energy. Okay, so thermal energy for further conversion to mechanical energy or electrical form. See what will happen, no? When in nuclear reactor a lot of heat is released, no? So coolant will be there, we will supply water like this. So this water is evaporated and it is converted into steam. So thermal energy, this steam is used to run the turbines. So mechanical energy, and these turbines are producing an electrical current. So electrical energy. So steam is used to run turbines. The turbines are generating electricity. So thermal energy, mechanical energy and electrical energy. So which is used to convert mechanical or electrical forms. Okay, so in structure we'll have different things like core, coolant, moderator, control rods, turbines. Okay, we'll see each and every one's importance and how and why they are using. Okay, first we'll read and then we'll go for drawing. Okay, here uranium in core means, see, this is the major where major part of nuclear reactor where nuclear fuel is there, and in this one breaking of uranium 235 will take place. Means if this one is fuel, so breaking of fuel will take place in this core. So here uranium breaks down and chain reaction take place in the core. Okay, coolant, it transfers the heat generated in the core. As I told, no, if this is core, coolant is supplied in this core so that heat from here it is transferred. Okay, so it transfers heat generated in the core towards turbines in the form of steam, which is used to generate electricity. Light water, okay, which is used to generate electricity. And this is very important. So which things are used as coolant? So this can be asked in prelims, like light water can be used, heavy water can be used, and liquid sodium is also used as coolant. So remember this line for prelims perspective. Okay, these three can be used as coolants. And what is moderator? These are used in the nuclear reactor to slow down the neutron. okay, in a controlled chain reaction. Generally, see, this line is also very important, remember, from previous perspective. Ordinary water, heavy water and graphite rods, okay, are used as moderators. Ordinary water, heavy water and graphite rods are used as moderators. Okay, see here, every time I was telling, when a neutron is bombarding this uranium-235 or something, it is splitting into different atoms and energy is released, and also 3 fast moving neutrons are produced. So means they are moving with very fast speed, so we need to control their fastness also. Otherwise, see, if it is fuel, if it is fast moving, means in that process it won't utilize whatever the fuel we are supplied efficiently. If this speed is controlled, means if the speed of fast moving neutron is reduced, then it will go a little bit slow. In that process, whatever the fuel we are supplying, that fuel will be used efficiently, means completely it can utilize the fuel. If it is going very fast, means only a limited fuel is utilized and rest of the fuel is got wasted. So to reduce the wastage of fuel, we will reduce the speed of neutron. So for that purpose, moderators are used, so fuel can be utilized efficiently. Okay, hope you understood this one, why moderators are used. Now we'll go for control rods. Control rods are also very important. Generally they are used to control the as I told, no, 3 neutrons are released, no, and we need to, next stage there will be 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay, one second, I will go back, otherwise we will read and I will go back and discuss. These are used in nuclear reactors to control the fission rate. This term is very important, to control the fission rate of the uranium or plutonium, and therefore absorbs neutrons. So this is very important. I already discussed like briefly, because we need to control the speed and we also need to absorb these neutrons, so that the number of neutrons which are hitting the uranium-235 fuel in next chain reaction will be less, so that less energy is released. Okay, so therefore absorbs neutrons. This action results in fewer neutrons available to cause fission, okay, and reduces the reactor's power output. Okay, this means we are reducing the amount of energy being released from that nuclear reactor by reducing the neutrons or by absorbing the neutrons through using control rods. So this line is very important. Boron, cadmium, silver or indium, these 4 are capable of absorbing many neutrons without themselves fissioning. Without themselves fissioning are used to used as control rods, which means, see, when these are used as control rods, these won't get splitted, okay, but instead of splitting, they can absorb the neutrons. This is what we meant. That are capable of absorbing many neutrons without themselves fissioning are used as control rods. Okay, and turbines, we know, transfer heat energy, whatever the heat energy or thermal energy, you know, from coolant to electricity, finally to produce electricity, they are used. Okay, see, once a control rod, how these control rods are used and why they are used, we'll see, because that is very important for also shutting down of a nuclear reactor. See, if we see a nuclear reactor's core, okay, fuel rods are fitted like this. Okay, fuel rod means as I told, no, uranium-235 will be of only 0.7. We will increase this to around 2.5 to 3, like that, but rest of that means only certain portion, means here and there its part will be around 2.5 to 3% if it is enriched. Okay, and rest of the part will be 238. So a mixture of these two will be used as fuel rod. Okay, similarly plutonium-239 and uranium-238, this mixture is used in first stage. This mixture is used in India's second stage as fuel. Okay, and thorium-232 and plutonium-239, thorium-232 and uranium-233 are used as fuel in third stage. We'll discuss all these things once again. But see, these are used as fuel rods, no mixture of these things. So if these fuel rods are completely opened, means when they are bombarded with neutron, okay, then this splitting will occur and they will release lot of, means at every step of chain reaction, 3 neutrons, that 3 will become 3 more, 3 more and 3 more, this 3 will become 9, 9, 9, so this 9 will become 27, 27, 27, like this. So this chain is go on increasing and a lot of energy is released. So we want to reduce this n, means we want to remove some neutrons from here so that it can be controlled. So what we'll do is we'll insert control rods, because we want to control, no, that's why control rods are inserted. So like if we insert control rods completely, means control rods if surrounded this fuel rod completely, means then these neutrons won't or cannot hit this fuel rod. So when they are not hitting fuel rod, means no reaction is taking place. No reaction means no energy, no output, means this will do, means control rods are used and covered completely, means inserted completely only when to stop the nuclear reactor. Hope you understood this one, because if it is inserted completely, means it is surrounding the fuel rod completely. If it is surrounding fuel rod completely, means then this free neutron, no, this can't hit this fuel rod. So when it is not hitting, means it won't split. So when it is not splitting, means nothing is working inside. So the nuclear reactor will shut down. So to stop the nuclear reactor, we will insert these controlling rods completely so that no reaction will take place and nuclear reactor will be shut down. But we want to control the number of neutrons, no, depending upon the amount of energy required. Depending upon the energy required, we will insert the control rod accordingly. Okay, we want 10 times energy, means accordingly we will adjust this control rod so that the required amount of energy is produced as output. So that's why it is called controlled chain reaction. Okay, controlled chain reaction. For that purpose we will use control rods. Hope you understood the mechanism, how these control rods are used to stop the nuclear reactor or to control the chain reaction by observing the neutrons. If it is half inserted, means only half part is exposed. Okay, so only half of the neutrons which are previously released are only released, means if it is 10 neutrons are released previously, means if half is covered, means only 5 neutrons are released, means half of the part only released, means half of the part is only exposed and this neutron will hit this half part only. Accordingly the number of neutrons are released. So this is very important to control the chain reaction. Hope you understood this one. Okay, so we understood structure, core, coolant, moderator, control rod, turbine. So we'll go with India's nuclear energy program. See, okay, the nuclear energy program of India is having 3 stages. See, this one already we discussed, no, 3 stages. Okay, based on closed fuel cycle. Okay, I will discuss what is closed fuel cycle. Means if fuel is used in one stage, its waste will be there, no, that wasted fuel will be used as fuel for the second stage, first stage, and output of first stage will be used as fuel in second stage, and output of second stage, means waste in second stage, can be used as fuel in third stage. So this process of using fuel is known as closed fuel cycle. Means one stage waste is used as fuel in next stage. That process is called closed fuel cycle. Okay, so nuclear program of India is having 3 stages based on closed fuel cycle. This is due to scarcity of uranium and abundance of thorium. This I already discussed. We have very less uranium reserves, but we have almost 25% of world thorium reserves. So we want to utilize this thorium. So that's why we designed 3-stage program, and this program is brainchild of Homi Jahangir Baba. Okay, so generally in India we have pressurized heavy water reactor as first stage, and fast breeder reactors as second stage, and advanced heavy water reactors as third stage. Okay, and I just gave a chart so that you can remember and mug up, so that if anything asked in prelims perspective, which one uses heavy water, or which means in which reactor coolant is used as heavy water, or moderator as heavy water or light water, like that, and who is the operator. So this box is utilized very useful from prelims perspective. So in first stage it is pressurized heavy water, natural uranium is used, and coolant as heavy water, and moderator has heavy water, and operator is NPCIL, means Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited. Okay, in second stage it is called as fast breeder reactor. In this, mixture of uranium-238 and plutonium-239 are used as fuels, and coolant is liquid sodium, and no moderator is used. Okay, no moderator. So if the purpose of moderator, as I discussed previously, is to slow down the neutrons. So if moderator is not used, means these neutrons are not slowed, means these are moving very fast. That's why this fast, the name came, as we are not using any motor. So fast, that's why the fast. Okay, breeder. We'll discuss what is breeder reactors. These two are breeder reactors. Okay, second stage and third stage are breeder reactors. We'll see what is breeder reactors in next slide. Okay, so moderator will be, no moderator will be used, but coolant is liquid sodium, and this is operated by Bhavini. Okay, Bharat Vidyut Nigam Limited. Okay, and in third stage, advanced heavy water reactor, mixture of uranium-233 and thorium-232 are used, and coolant as light water and moderator as heavy water are used, and operator is not yet fixed, because we are still in first stage only. And we are just ready to enter second stage. So that's why we not yet fixed who will operate third stage, because we didn't enter still in second stage. Okay, we'll see how these things will work here. So India's 3-stage nuclear program. Homi Bhabha envisioned India's nuclear power program in 3 stages to suit the country's low uranium resource profile. This I discussed already. So first stage, so natural uranium is used. Natural uranium is composition consists of uranium-235 and uranium-238, because no enrichment they have done, means this is only 0.7% and this is 99.3%. So this was used as fuel in first stage. Okay, its waste will be there, no? Its waste means this uranium-235, as it is fissile material, entire thing is consumed, means entire thing was utilized, and we left with uranium-238. And we already saw when uranium-238 means when neutron is bombarded, it will hit this one also and it will hit this one also. When it hits this one will utilized and energy is produced, and when this one hits uranium-238, we already discussed, this will convert into plutonium-239. So means entire uranium-238 won't convert into plutonium-239, only a little part will convert into plutonium-239 and some part will left as it is 238. Okay, so this part which is left as uranium-238 is called depleted uranium. Okay, these both are waste products of first stage. Waste product or output of first stage. Okay, this one is called depleted uranium. Okay, see, that is what here mentioned. Depleted uranium and plutonium are output of first stage, pressurized heavy water, and these two are utilized as fuels in second stage. This is called closed cycle. This I discussed. Closed fuel cycle. This is meant closed fuel cycle. This waste is of first stage is utilized as fuel in second stage. So depleted uranium and plutonium are used as fuel in second stage. Okay, and these are fast breeder reactors. I told fast, why the fast name came here. No moderator is used, so the speed of neutron is not controlled, so it is hitting very fast, and So due to that it is called as fast. And breeder means generally used when more fuel is produced than it is consumed. More fuel is produced than it is consumed. Means what is the fuel here? Plutonium 239 is the major fuel here, because only when this plutonium 239 is bombarded, it is split into different atoms and producing energy. So this is major fuel here. So in this process we already seen a mixture of plutonium 239 and uranium 238 are used as fuel. So let's see here, plutonium 239 and uranium 238 are used as fuel rods in this second stage. And when a neutron is used to bombard, this part will consume, means entire thing is exhausted, but this part will be left. Okay, uranium 238, and whatever we discussed here now, uranium 238 when bombarded with neutron, this will convert into plutonium 239. Means here a certain portion of plutonium 239 is consumed and exhausted, but because of this thing more and more plutonium 239 is produced. So here if you see in both, output will be like plutonium 239 and a little portion of uranium 238 is left. So whatever the waste which was produced in first stage, now similarly that same waste is also produced in second stage, but the thing is little bit different here. The core complex is there now, as I discussed now, this is core complex where fuel rods are kept. This core complex is coated with thorium 232. That's why here they mention thorium. So thorium 232, and already we discussed now, when thorium 232 is bombarded, means when we are bombarding with neutron, this will convert into uranium 233. So in this, not only plutonium 239 and uranium 238 are produced as output, but also uranium 233 are produced as output. Okay, hope you understood this one. They just use it as a coating. So when neutrons hit this thorium 232, that is converted into uranium 233, and these are called breeders because more and more fuel is also produced. So this plutonium 239 can be reutilized in the second stage. Okay, and whatever the uranium 233 which is produced now, that uranium 233 can be used as fuel in third stage. Okay, so the third stage fuel looks like this, uranium 233, and also we'll use thorium 232. So when it is bombarded with neutron, this uranium 233 is consumed, but this thorium 233 is there now, this is converted into uranium 233. So this cycle will repeat. That's why here also fuel is consumed but more fuel is produced. Okay, I already told you, breeders, in breeder reactors more fuel is produced than it is consumed. Here also more fuel is produced. In second stage also more fuel is produced than what it is consuming. So whatever the fuel output now, here output is 233. So that output can be reutilized as fuel in third stage. Okay, hope you understood why these two are breeder reactors and how these things are working. But if you want, I can explain once again our three-stage program. See, in first stage, natural uranium they are using, which consists of uranium 235 and uranium 238 as fuel. And when it is bombarded with fast moving neutron, when it hits this one, this entire thing is consumed and it broken and splits into three fast moving neutrons, and energy is released. So entire thing is consumed. And similarly, when this neutron hits this one is converted into plutonium 239 and certain part of uranium 238 is left. Okay, this part is called as depleted uranium. These two are used as fuels in second stage. This is first stage. So these two are used as fuels in second stage, along with, means this is fuel of plutonium 239 and uranium 238 as fuel, along with the core is surrounded with thorium 232. And when it is bombarded with neutron, this thing will split into different atoms and produce energy, and so this entire plutonium is consumed. But this when a neutron hits uranium 238, it converts into plutonium 239 once again. Okay, so more plutonium 239 is produced than what it is consumed in this second stage. So this is called breeder reactor, and as no moderator is used in second, it is called fast. So fast breeder reactor. Okay, and as thorium is also used, when this fast moving neutron hits thorium, this thorium is converted into 233, uranium 233, which is used, means this whatever extra plutonium 239 came, no, that is recycled and reused as fuel in second stage itself, and whatever the output, other output, which is uranium 233, this one is used as fuel in third stage along with thorium 232. So these two are fuels, uranium 233 and thorium 232 are used as fuels in third stage. So when it is a neutron is bombarding with them, this one is fissile, no, that's why it splits and produce energy, so it will be entirely consumed. But when fast moving neutron hits this one, this is converted into uranium 233. So instead of consuming uranium 233, more and more uranium 233 is produced. So this is also called as breeder reactor, and whatever the output uranium 233 came, no, that can be reutilized as fuel in third stage. So this is our entire 3-stage nuclear program, which was designed by our great homie Jahangir Baba. Okay, so this is what I have written here. Pressurized heavy water reactor, natural uranium oxide is used as fuel matrix, contain so and so uranium 238 and uranium 235. Heavy water as moderator and coolant. This was I mentioned in the box. And fast breeder reactor primarily based on plutonium. That's why, because waste of first stage is plutonium 239. So primarily based on plutonium, which was obtained from the first stage reactor operator as the fuel core. A blanket of uranium 238 surrounding the fuel core will undergo nuclear transmutation to produce fresh plutonium 239. Okay, that's what I told now. This uranium 238 is converted into plutonium 239 in second stage once again. So more and more plutonium 239 is consumed during the operation. Beside a blanket of thorium 232 around it is not consumed, it is produced. Okay, beside a blanket of thorium 232 around the fast breeder core also undergoes a neutron capture reaction leading to formation of uranium 233. This is what uranium 233, which is obtained as waste in second stage, which can be used as fuel in third stage. Okay, this is what I wrote. Uranium 233 is the nuclear reactor fuel for third stage. Advanced heavy water reactors fuel is uranium 233 is obtained from the nuclear transmutation of thorium 232 in the second stage of the program. Since India has abundant thorium reserves in the form of monazite sand, thorium is found in this sand. Okay, and third stage is critical for India's nuclear energy basket. Okay, hope you understood all these things, and we'll little bit go into the history of the nuclear reactors. Then I will come into these topics. I will just briefly discuss, because as time has already run, we'll discuss all these topics in detail in some other video, but right now I will give just intro of these topics. Okay, but before that I will discuss some history about nuclear reactors in India. So initially in 1962, India has signed a nuclear deal with the USA. So India and USA have signed a nuclear deal, so that USA decided to supply 2 nuclear reactors to India, which is based on enriched uranium. Okay, 2.5 to 3.5% of enriched uranium. So they constructed these 2 reactors at Tarapur, Maharashtra. Okay, Tarapur, Maharashtra. These 2 they constructed, but the problem is they are using enriched uranium. But due to this, India don't have technology of uranium enrichment at that time. So we wanted to look for other nuclear reactors which are using natural uranium instead of enriched uranium. So we approached Canada, and Canada decided to give pressurized heavy water reactors. Okay, as we seen, this is India's first stage we are presently using, which uses natural uranium instead of enriched uranium. So as it is using enriched uranium, we India looked for the countries which are making nuclear reactors using natural uranium, and by seeing Canada, we approached them, and they decided to construct pressurized heavy water reactors in India. And this deal was happened in 1965, and in 1972 Canada constructed first pressurized heavy water reactor at Rawatbata, Rajasthan. Okay, at Rajasthan's Rawatbata they constructed first pressurized water reactor, but India conducted its nuclear test in 1974. During that time, Canada was in constructing second pressurized heavy water reactor. Okay, first they already constructed in 1972, and in 1974 India conducted nuclear test. During that time they are constructing our second pressurized heavy water reactor, but due to this nuclear explosion, means testing of nuclear bomb, they left in middle. Okay, so whatever the nuclear reactors, pressurized heavy water reactors constructed after this 1974 are entirely indigenous. So we constructed on our own only, and today majority of our nuclear reactors are of this category because they are using natural uranium. And see, the present 8 defense nuclear reactor, whatever the nuclear reactors which we are using for defense purpose, those are also belongs to pressurized heavy water reactor only. Okay, so majority of our reactors belong to this category only. Okay, so yeah, India conducted nuclear test 2 times. One is in 1974 and one is in 1998. Okay, and recently the latest one is pressurized. Okay, the latest nuclear reactors are initial. First one is boiling water reactor. This one, boiling water reactor. This was signed. This we signed with USA. In this, both coolant and moderator both are light water only. Okay, but in this pressurized heavy water, both are coolant and moderator are heavy water only. Okay, here it is boiling water reactor, which was given by USA, and light water is used as coolant and moderator. Okay, and present we have nuclear deals with USA, Russia and France. In this they are using, see, these are called as pressurized water reactors. This is pressurized heavy water reactors, but these are pressurized water reactors. Okay, or these are also called as light water reactors. I will clear everything, and because these are present new things, no, so we need to be more clear. Pressurized water reactors or light water reactors. Okay, these are also called 3+, means this plus star indicates the safety. These are more safest reactors till date. Okay, so third generation reactors are also called as third generation reactors. So pressurized water reactor, previous was pressurized heavy water reactor, but this was pressurized water reactor or light water reactor. Okay, so safety norm wise these are very safest because they are third generation reactors. This plus indicates safety norms are very high. In this one, light water, okay, light water is used as coolant or moderator, so hence it is also called light water reactor. Okay, and see, these are being supplied by 3 countries to India. One is VVER, Voda reactor. Okay, so Voda energy reactor, this is being given by Russia. Okay, total 6 in number. Voda energy reactor. Second one is evolutionary, okay, EPR, evolutionary pressurized reactor, or evolutionary or energy or evolutionary pressurized reactor. These are being supplied by France. These are also 6 in number. And third one is USA is supplying us, total 12 in number. Okay, these are called AP, means advanced pressurized reactors. Okay, one is VVER, Voda energy reactor. EPR means evolutionary or energy pressurized reactors, and third one is advanced pressurized reactors. These are 12 in numbers. Okay, see, these are already being constructed at Kudankulam. Already 2 are constructed at Kudankulam. Okay, these are being constructed by France, no, at Jaitapur, Ratnagiri district of Maharashtra. Ratnagiri district of Maharashtra. And out of these 12, 6 are being constructed at Kovada of Srikakulam district of Andhra Pradesh, and another 6 are in Bhavnagar district, Chaya, CHAYA Iti Vadhi, at Bhavnagar district of Gujarat. So these are third generation reactors which are being constructed, means these 2 are not yet constructed. In this only 2 are constructed at Kudankulam, and rest are also under construction. So these are VVR, Voda energy reactor, EPR, evolutionary pressurized reactor, and third one is AP, advanced pressurized reactor. So these are by Russia, 6 in number. These are by France, 6 in number. These are by USA, 12 in number. 6 are at Kovada, and 6 are at Gujarat Bhavnagar district. So these are next stage reactors. Okay, and presently India is still in first stage, and just we are entering into second stage. Okay, just we are entering into second stage. Okay, hope you understood about what is a nuclear energy program of India, and what are the stages, and why we go on for 3 stages, all these things. So now let's briefly go through these subtopics. Just I want to give just introduction. Indo-US nuclear deal. This happened in 2005 between India and USA. Means it is also called as 1-3 agreement, because USA's domestic Atomic Energy Act of USA 94. In that one clause is there, that is section 123. According to this section, if a president of USA satisfies, then he can transfer nuclear technology to any country. But this clause is very important, which signed NPT, means NPT was compulsory for that countries, and if president is satisfied, those who have signed NPT, he can transfer the nuclear technology. But India didn't sign NPT, so India said we won't sign NPT. So because of that, USA amended their domestic law, okay, Atomic Energy Act. For that, Heidi amendment was made. Okay, Heidi amendment was made and said for India, signing NPT is not compulsory. And but for India they gave excuse of signing NPT. So they told we'll supply nuclear reactors to India, nuclear technology also to India, but they kept one condition, that we need to separate our nuclear reactors for civil purpose and military purpose reactors, and this nuclear reactor should be open to IAEA inspection. Okay, so this IAEA will come and will see whether the civil nuclear reactors, which are civilian nuclear reactors means the reactors which are used for producing energy. Military means it can be used for any purpose. So the IAEA will come and see whether these civil nuclear purpose reactors which are actually told to produce nuclear energy are meant for that purpose, or they will see whether they are using for nuclear energy production only or not. Otherwise, if some countries are producing any weapon grade uranium, or utilizing that nuclear waste for producing nuclear weapons, means then IAEA will kept restrictions on these things. That's why they will come and inspect. So USA asked India to separate a separate clause. This is called separate clause. So according to the separate clause, India should divide its nuclear reactors into civilian nuclear reactors and military nuclear reactors, and this civilian nuclear reactors should be opened to IAEA for inspection. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3 agreement. Some other clauses are also there, but just I am giving introduction. We'll discuss each and everything in detail in next class. Okay, Iran nuclear deal. I already told no, because 20,000 centrifuges are there, and they are at a stage that they are ready to produce a nuclear weapon. So all these countries, Western countries, are worried, and they wanted to discuss with Iran to stop that nuclear program of Iran. So P5 countries plus 1 plus Iran. These P5 countries are those countries who had nuclear weapons before 1967. Okay, those are 5, like USA, Russia, UK, France and China. These countries are called permanent 5 countries. Okay, those have nuclear weapons before 1967. So these countries, along with this one is Germany. This Germany acted as a kind of mediator between Iran and P5 countries, and finally they came with a deal. So that deal is called Iran nuclear deal, and it has a lot of clauses. We'll discuss that thing later in detail. So NPT, nuclear proliferation treaty, means to stop nuclear proliferation. They came with this treaty, and it was in operation from 1970, and cutoff date for signing it, means signatures were started in 1967. Cutoff date is also 1967. Means before 1967, those countries which had nuclear weapons are recognized as nuclear weapon states. Means NPT divided countries into 2 groups. One is nuclear weapon countries, another one is non-nuclear weapon countries. These are 5. Whatever the P5 countries are there, no, those are nuclear weapon countries, and those countries and the rest of the countries are non-nuclear weapon countries, even though they have nuclear weapons today. Means their cutoff date is 1967. So before 1967, whichever the countries have nuclear weapons, those are called nuclear weapon states, and after 1967, even if they had nuclear weapons also, then they are not considered as nuclear weapon states. So India felt this one as discriminatory, because they are restricting horizontal proliferation. Horizontal proliferation means horizontal proliferation means different countries, they are not allowing other countries to produce, not allowing other countries, means they are putting restrictions on other countries, but they are encouraging vertical proliferations. Means these P5 countries, no, there were no restrictions on them, means they are allowed to produce any number like that. So India said this is very discriminatory, as you are allowing those countries which have already nuclear weapons before 1967 to produce any number, but you are restricting those countries which have nuclear weapons after 1967. So horizontal proliferation is not allowed, but vertical proliferation is allowed. So this is discriminatory. So India won't sign NPT, we said. Okay. And what is NSG? NSG is like a nuclear control regime treaty. Means while giving nuclear weapons or nuclear technology, there will be a lot of restrictions. So that group is nuclear supplier group. It is also called as London group, and this group was formed after 1974, after India tested nuclear weapon. Okay, so after India's nuclear test, this group was formed to restrict the supply of nuclear weapons and nuclear technology to other countries. So but India right now don't have membership to this one, but India is trying to get membership into this NSC, but China is opposing, because the two major I'll erase this one. The two major clauses that are required is countries should sign NPT, and they should allow full scope IAEA inspection. Okay, means NPT should be signed and also allow IAEA to inspect. Full scope means no division between civil and military reactors like that. Every reactor that is present in that country, in present or in future, that every reactor should come under IAEA inspection. So these two clauses are must, China is saying, but India is saying no, NPT is optional like that. So a lot of debate is there. So but finally China is not allowing India to get the membership of NSC. And IAEA I told now, so International Atomic Energy Agency, it is not under UN but reports to, not under UN but reports, this is important for prelims, reports to UN and United Nations Security Council. So it reports to these but it directly won't come under United Nations. Okay, it will come and see whether the intended purpose of nuclear reactor is utilized for energy production or for any mischievous production of nuclear weapons like that. So this will come and inspects. Okay, nuclear tests. We conducted 2 nuclear tests as I discussed in 1974 one and one is 1998. This is under the name of Operation Smiling Buddha. In this one they conducted 3 tests and 3 belong to nuclear fission based on plutonium fuel. Okay, nuclear fission means here this is atomic bomb. In 1998, nuclear tests are conducted under the name of Operation Shakti. Okay, this is Operation Smiling Buddha, Operation Shakti. In this 5 nuclear tests are conducted, in which 4 are fission devices, means atom bombs. But one is thermonuclear bomb. Thermonuclear means here hydrogen bomb. Means in this fusion reaction, fusion reaction is used. Thermonuclear, as I told now, in fusion heavy energy or externally we need to supply energy so that then only 2 smaller nucleus will combine to form a bigger one. So in this one we need external heat is supplied, so that's why they are called thermonuclear reactors. So here that is why fusion, thermonuclear energy and thermonuclear bombs, hydrogen bombs. So out of 5 in Operation Shakti, 4 are fission and 1 is thermonuclear bomb. Okay, and India's nuclear doctrine. After this test, the PM at that time asked our national security advisor to make India's doctrine, and it came into force in 2003, and some of the clauses are no first use policy. Okay, and you will have credible minimum deterrence, and nuclear control will be in political hands. It's not under bureaucratic control. And if any country, means we won't use nuclear weapons toward the countries which they don't have nuclear weapons. And if any country is using biological weapons or chemical weapons, then definitely we will use nuclear weapons against them, whether they are nuclear weapon countries or not, it doesn't matter. So these are like this, these are some of the clauses in India's nuclear doctrine. Okay, and Nuclear Liability Act. So liability means if any damage occurred while operating, then who is responsible? Is that supplier of that nuclear reactor or operator? So Western countries don't want their supplier to be responsible, they want operator to be responsible, as many of those Western countries are supplying nuclear reactors throughout the world, so they don't want their companies to be responsible for in paying for damages. So they made a laws in such a way that they, in every law they are seeking operator is responsible. So in India also they want operator to be responsible. So finally some issue came, and finally India made India's nuclear insurance pool. India's nuclear insurance pool was made, in which 1500 crore was used for each reactor. Means 1500 crore will be there for each reactor. Out of this, 750 will come from government and 750 will be raised from market. 750 crore will from government, 750 crore from market. So this 1500 crore will become operational only when nuclear damage occurs. Only when nuclear damage occurs, means any nuclear failure or like Fukushima, if any radiations are coming out or some damage occurs, then only this 1500 crore picture will come. Okay, otherwise this won't operate. Okay, then ITR. Till now, whatever we discussed now in India, 3 stages nuclear reactor, all are based on fission only. But no country in the world is using fusion reactor. It's at commercial level. Lab purpose and research oriented fusion reactors are there even in India also. But commercial level, there was no fusion reactor in the world. So they won't. But we have seen lot of very high energy is released in fusion, so they want to utilize this high energy of fusion to produce energy, so to produce electricity. So fusion reactor means there are few countries came in together for the construction of fusion reactors and to do research and to produce energy at commercial level. So for this purpose ITR was formed, International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor. International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor. Okay, so India is also part of this. Okay, part of this group. Okay, so there are other topics also. We'll discuss ITR with diagram also, how the superconducting magnets are used, how in this one no radioactive material used. Instead they will use hydrogen atom, and this hydrogen atom is converted into plasma, and this plasma is utilized to generate energy. So no waste, no nuclear waste like that will be there in this one, and these are one of the safest, as there is no nuclear radioactive material, there won't be any radiation damage, all those things, even if damage occurs also. So these are safe ones. And there are other things are also like K star, okay, East. These are also fusion reactors. So this one is of Korea, this one is of China. Okay, fusion reactors only. These are also called tokamak reactors. So we'll discuss everything in detail. Like that, a lot of other topics are also there, so we'll discuss these things and other topics also in detail in next class. Hope you all like this video. Thank you.